You're over 35, your OGBYN is already telling you you've started too late, and now you found out you've got a low AMH, and you're worried you're running out of eggs. Don't panic. I'm going to explain what AMH is, how you should test it, and what it actually means for you, because depending on when you test it, it can be completely inaccurate. Stay till the end, you can't afford to miss this. AMH doesn't tell you how many eggs you have left. Here's why. You're born with all the eggs you're ever going to have in your life. You won't run out of eggs until menopause. All of your eggs are locked in a type of reproductive vault. During your cycle, eggs are released from the vault and they compete for the job of ovulation. Only one egg will win the job. It's very complex the way it wins. That egg will journey on for ovulation and the rest of the eggs will die off. AMH assesses how many eggs are coming up for the job, not how many are left in the vault. There's actually no way to test how many eggs you have left. Less eggs coming up assumes that there's less eggs left, but other things can influence how many eggs are coming up, regardless of how many you have in the vault. The AMH test is designed for the IVF space. It gives doctors an indication of drug dosage size. With a low AMH, the dose can increase. This is to get as many eggs as possible for collection. If you have a high AMH, like people with polycystic ovaries, you need to be on a lower dose. This is to reduce the risk of overstimulation. The first IVF cycle is always about finding your unique recipe. AMH can give your doctor a really good indication of your situation. More and more these days, AMH is being used as a fertility or an egg timer test, but it's important to remember that it doesn't have a direct link to your fertility potential. Often, it doesn't tell you how long you have left to have babies. A study showed with an AMH of less than 4 picomoles per litre, a woman is significantly less likely to achieve conception naturally or through IVF, and that they are twice as likely to miscarry than those with an AMH over 7. The same study showed that women aged 30 to 44 with no history of infertility, AMH levels were not a marker of likely fertility with natural conception. I'll include a link in the study in the show notes. What this tells us though is that if you don't have other influencing factors for your fertility, you can still fall pregnant naturally with a low AMH. Low AMH is associated with poor egg quality. I see the opposite a lot on social media and it's really misleading. AMH levels like our egg reserve, they decline with age. But what if it happens early? If you're younger than 35 years old and have an AMH of less than 7, you could be in premature ovarian insufficiency. If you're 35 to 40 years old, you're looking at a level less than 4. We used to think that this only meant a decrease in quantity, but now we absolutely know that this means quantity and quality. There are still a lot of natural fertility experts who will tell you differently, and they're wrong. The evidence is pretty clear. So if you fit into this category, or you suspect you do, don't wait to get help. See an OBGYN and get further investigations to see what your options are. Don't test your AMH at any time. While on contraception or within the 3 months coming off it, you will get an inaccurate low result. Don't worry though, it's only temporary. The same goes for pregnancy and breastfeeding. Wait 3 months to test your AMH. For the most accurate results, test your AMH on day 2 or 3 of your cycle. Your AMH does not move in one direction. It can change for some women. I have seen countless women come into the clinic presenting with a low AMH and high anxiety. They were told things like, you only have a few eggs left, or you're in menopause, when in fact they weren't. I've seen these women go on to have babies and not go through menopause for another 10 years. It's important to remember there's no such thing as a fertility test. We use many different tests. With this information, we can form a picture of your fertility potential and what your next steps should be. And fertility can be hard, especially if you don't have the right guidance. If you want to learn some simple habits to increase your fertility potential, then watch this next video here. I'll explain how you can be super fertile, even past the age of 40.